Everything has a location, whether it be the photos you took, where you are, the places you like to hang out, where you bought that special gift, or even the last place you met your date. I'm Megan Boundy, Product Manager for the Google Maps mobile SDKs. Today I'm going to show you some cool ways to use Google Maps mobile SDKs to help you both bring these experiences alive and delight and engage your users. In this session, I'm focusing on the Google Maps Android API v2, but all of this functionality is available in the Google Maps SDK for iOS as well. This is great if you're looking for cross-platform consistency for your apps. When developers think of having a map in their app, they often think of something like this: a marker on a map. This is great for showing your location or marking out where you might want to meet someone. But did you know that you could add Street View to your app like this? Or make cool apps like Santa Tracker that follows Santa around the world as he delivers presents? Let's take a look. Our docs show you how to embed a Google map in an Android activity. Then it's easy to add markers to your map. You just use the Add Marker method and specify a few options to customize the marker. For example, you can set latitude and longitude, change the color of the marker. You can also set what shows up in the info window when the user taps the marker and the info window pops up. You may even want to use photos as your marker. Maybe you want to show where the photo was taken on a map and associate it with an event, rather than just showing a strip of photos in your app. Now that you've seen markers, let's take a look at Street View. Most excitingly, you can add Street View imagery to your apps. In this demo, you can see the split screen with the Street View imagery in the top half and the Google Map in the bottom half. By long pressing the marker and dragging, Street View imagery updates and shows you the location where you drag the marker to. So how do you do this? A very similar demo is available in the demo examples in the Google Maps for Android API v2 itself, so the code is all there. Here we've split the layout into two parts. It's one fragment for the Street View panorama and one fragment for the Google Map. You then set the same initial location for the map, the marker and the panorama, and we've given our marker a custom icon, which is Pegman. When you drag the marker, you listen to a drag event from the marker and use the callback to position the location of the panorama. When the panorama change event occurs, the listener will give you the precise location of the panorama, and you can feed this back to the marker to update its position completely accurately. So what else can you do with Street View? You may want to add Street View to your store locator, see an area around a hotel, or view a museum or an aquarium. Street View also provides you with seamless access to Google's indoor Street View imagery. You can set the Street View panorama to be of imagery within the aquarium, or set it outside the aquarium and have your users navigate inside if they wish. Of course, you can do this for stores as well if the store has indoor business view imagery. This would be awesome if you're a store owner and you want your customers to see what's available inside to entice them to come and visit you. Okay, moving on. How can you make your users feel more immersed in their Maps experience? Have you tried out the Santa Tracker app and wondered why it felt so movie-like to follow Santa as he flies around the world? This is because we made the camera track Santa's location. Both the Google Maps mobile SDKs use a camera that lets you set the location of what you want to look at. You can animate the camera by using a camera update and calling the Animate Camera method. This is where you can also set the zoom level, the bearing, the tilt, and the duration of the animation. It's so effective. If you don't want to see any animation, you just call the Move Camera method instead, and it will move the map directly to that new location. We have a whole session dedicated to the Santa Tracker app at Google I/O 2014, so make sure to take a look. Now you know how to make your users feel more immersed in their Maps experience. How do you add things to the map and animate them? For example, how do those weather apps get the clouds coming in over the terrain map? Google Maps has several map types available, such as satellite, hybrid, or terrain. It's really easy to switch between map types. You just use the Set Map Type method on the map and specify the map type that you want. These apps are also using mostly transparent tile overlays with the clouds as the opaque features. Tile overlays allow you to specify particular tiles to be shown at a given set of coordinates. You should also specify which tiles can be shown at each zoom level. All you need to do is define a URL tile provider and supply that to the tile overlay options, then add it to the map. To make the clouds appear to be moving, the weather apps are swapping out multiple tile overlays periodically to make it appear animated. Talking about the weather, it may be time to go inside. There's also the ability to see indoor maps along with programmatic control of the indoor level of the building and the floor picker. You can find out which building is active by calling Get Focus Building, and then find out the active level of that building by calling Get Active Level Index. This is great if you want to show custom markup for the active level, such as markers, polylines, tile overlays, and other shapes. You can also turn off our default level picker and implement your own by passing false to the method set indoor level picker enabled, and then adding your own. Now we've seen all parts of the world via our map: indoor, outdoor, street view, a normal road map, and weather overlays. Who knew you could do so much with maps in your apps? To get started mapping up your own apps, go here for Android and here for iOS. And if you need any help, our support page lists the Stack Overflow tags that you need. So what are you waiting for? It's time to get out there and start mapping up your apps.